Welcome to round 13 of the Anzcar Monday Night Truck Series, coming to you tonight from Dover Speedway. Relatively small field out tonight. Simon Thomas putting in a great lap to actually take that pole position ahead of Jackson Callow. Haven't seen him for a couple of rounds now, and he comes back with a bang, sticking it right there on pole and leading away early with Callow, who looks as though he's actually changed the paint scheme on that truck just recently, in hot pursuit with Danson just sitting back there in third. Danson, of course, having wrapped up the title in the last round, and now just racing to really put his stamp on the championship, as if he needed to do that with such a dominant performance as he's managed to put in. Sam Katakazinis and Nicholas Walsh are running together early as Walsh just touches the wall up there, and Steve Hoppett running there with Carolyn Upton. Ashley Lear as well, sitting in there behind Danson in the early stages, while Callow and Thomas, were battling for first place. And you can see Steve Hopper's just bounced off the outside wall, gone to the inside there, and made the motor on that truck very sad indeed. And I'm not sure if that actually brought out the caution there, but he ended up multiple laps down. Matt Hunter battling away there with Nicholas Walsh, just getting a little bit sideways and glancing the wall himself. He just managed to keep that, keep that within the confines of the circuit, but he's bounced back up, and the unlucky Todd Maxfield there has just managed to spin around. Of course, that's brought out the caution. You see there off the start, Carolyn Upton starting from the first position, lit up the tyres. I know all too well what that feels like, having done that a couple of weeks ago, if you recall, and the end result very much the same. So when the caution disappeared, we had Aaron Dillon leading away from Ashley Lear. Not sure if this is the first time we've seen Aaron lead a Anzcar race. If it is, he'll be very well pleased with that, coming under a bit of pressure there from Lear, as you see Matt Danson just working on the back of Nicholas Shields. And just making the move there down the inside, and Shields doesn't look too interested in that fight, just letting him go and get on with it. Also put the exact same move on Ash Lear, who just slots in behind Danson there, hopefully to use Danson to pull up to the back of the leader. Nicholas Walsh and Jackson Callow running there together. Callow's fallen a little bit down from his starting position, as you see Danson just making his way past Matt Hunter as well. A bit of damage on that black Toyota there, but he's continuing on. Callow and Walsh just running there side by side, just catching up with Maxfield, who we saw involved in that really heavy wreck earlier on. Obviously he's got that damage repaired and is back out there on the track, but he's a number of trucks to be running around with damage at the moment. As you see Ashley there also just slotting past Matt Hunter. Danson now just working his way past a few of those other guys, just working his way past Maxfield. He had such a great race in the Tuesday night race, Anzcar race with the car tomorrow they put on. He had a really, really good drive there, and Nicholas Walsh just hanging to the outside there while those other two guys come through on him, and continuing on his way. Danson now just pulling right up onto the back of Callow and making that move. Callow, you can see, carrying a little bit of damage of his own. Maxfield putting a very similar move on him a couple of laps later. Callow's had a fairly rough night by his standards, did an excellent job there bouncing off the outside wall and managing to actually hold it down, so it didn't cause any issues for anyone else. James Robbie, first time we've seen him in a highlights package tonight, just moving his way up through the field as Callow continues that recovery drive back up there as he was earlier on with Nicholas Walsh. Steve Hoppett did make a return to the race after getting those repairs, and Ashley Lear just making a dive for the pits, getting a little bit wrong, and not sure if he actually glanced the front of that truck on the end of the tyre barriers or not, but he certainly glanced the top wall there as Danson just slips through there on the inside, and Lear manages to continue on as the battle continues between Dillon and James Robbie in the 41. Maxfield just there at the outside wall, and just second time he's been around tonight. First one, of course, not his fault at all. That one was pretty much on his own. Spun out and brought out the caution, from which Danson led away. with Leah hanging around his outside there, and Callow just keeping a watching brief back there in third place, as Dylan and Robbie keep going at it and working their way back up through the field, just putting another lap on Steve Hoppett there. This battle just continued on and on, running side by side for quite a while. Robbie's actually got the move done around the outside there. Dylan attempting to come back on the inside as Callow gets it a bit loose and glances that outside ball, spins it around and brings out the caution. Starting away again, Danson jumps back into the lead, followed by Leah, followed by Robbie, followed by Dylan. They would just continue to run in that order as Robbie has just caught up to Leah there and just putting a move down the inside. He's had to fight for it though. Leah staying there on the outside, hanging in as much as he can, but Robbie having that preferred inside line has actually been able to clear Ashley and will continue on his way. Dylan, of course, was part of that battle with Robbie, but seems to have fallen away. And Robbie now looks to put the pressure on the leader, Matt Danson. Just as they're working their way past Todd Maxfield there, you can see Robbie just there with Danson in his sights, just keeping an eye on him. Danson using all his experience, working his way past those back markers, doing his best to keep Robbie at bay. Just working his way around the outside of Steve Hoppett there as well, and Robbie will follow him through. As the race moved into its dying stages, the challenge from Robbie just fell away a little way. Danson's actually managed to clear out. Perhaps he took better care of his tyres or something of that nature, but he certainly has extended that gap over James Robbie and went on to take a well-deserved victory. So it would be Danson in first place, James Robbie in second, and Ashley Leah rounding out the top three in third place. Another good race. Final one for the season coming up next week, coming to us from Kansas, and from there we will see who gets promoted to the Thunder Series, and who's around to race in the trucks next season and fight for this championship. There's certainly been a great series this first time round, and it'll be even bigger and better next year with live broadcast coming. So enjoy the Thunder tonight, and back to you, Bernie.